Shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to start by saying Call Halayim, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect out there laboring on and believe in the name of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kwadash. To USA Shalom. This is Brother Amawan from the GMS Charlotte camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kwadash. And pretty much this lesson, I wanted to go in on this article that was sent in the group text. This is from Breitbart.com, and it reads, Biden administration ask Americans to report potentially radicalized friends and family. It says President Joe Biden's administration announced their plans to create ways for Americans to report radicalized friends and family to the government in an effort to fight domestic terrorism. In a conversation with reporters, one senior administration officer explained the importance of stopping politically fueled violence before it started. We will work to improve public awareness of federal resources to address concerning or threatening behavior before violence occurs, the official said. The official cited the Department of Homeland Security If You See Something, Say Something campaign to help stop radical Islamic terror as a domestic possibility, which they've been running with that, Islamic terrorist thing for the longest. But as you've been, seeing, all right, the main ones that's, citing this so-called domestic terrorism is these Edomites, man. All right, all these shootings, these are so-called white people, shooting up everything, man. These extremist groups, and Esau is painting a picture, using himself as the enemy, but we know the true motive is to really come down on the men of the Lord. So he's going to paint himself up as the villain, ultimately, so that he can come down upon the men of the Lord, because we are that main target, man. It says this involves creating context in which those who are family members or friends or co-workers know that there are pathways and avenues to raise concerns and seek help for those who have been perceived to be radicalizing and potentially radicalizing towards violence, the official said. And as I said, man, you got him starting to paint the image of himself being the domestic terrorist, but we all know what this is coming down to. So this is a clip that I found off of Instagram, and it pretty much, goes into, this, similar subject.
The number of open FBI domestic terrorism investigations this year has increased significantly. The two most lethal elements of the domestic violence extremist threat are racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists and militia violent extremists. In the FBI's view, the top domestic violent extremist threat comes from racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those who advocated for the superiority of the white race.
Okay, so as I said, he's painting himself as a villain, but then you turn around and you have these type of incidents take place, where they always put Jake, going to, kill some damn so-called white people, but then you never hear about, these Edomites, pretty much, going in on this same type of thing, You got the Klan and different militia groups that, openly show their hate towards you Jakes, man. All right, but then you won't really hear them talk about them like that, man. All right. So this is off of blackenterprise.com. It says man goes on shooting spree to kill white men who had taken from him all his life. And it's funny that you always have the type of articles come out, whereas you got Jake, smoking these Edomites, man. But you never hear about, the stories when it's reversed, though, man. All right, and like I said, this is just one of many things they're going to use to try to come down on the Hebrew Israelites, man, because of the message that we speak, which pretty much is telling our people that we are the sons of the power, man. All right, we are the chosen people of the Most High, and that these Edomites, that they are the devil, man. All right, So they're gonna start using these these articles like this, and start taking videos from brothers' pages, and camp videos of us, getting on these Edomites, man. And there's gonna be the motivation that they need to pretty much come down upon us, man. And they're gonna, pretty much use, this your family as another means to, come down upon you, man. Your family and friends, man. All right. Which I'm not even gonna read the article because you already know how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna pretty much, just go ahead and hop into scriptures because Esau is trying to paint this picture, but at the end of the day, man, we know what's going on, as it tells you in 2 Corinthians 2:11 that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All right, so we see where this is headed, man. Okay, so I'm gonna start here in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, and it reads, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." So the closer and closer we get up the end, all right, you're going to see sin pretty much, you know, ramp up more and more. Things are going to get worse and worse out here. And it says the love of many shall wax cold, because when you start seeing this society start to break down more and more, you're going to start seeing, this the animalistic nature of people start to come out. And eventually, Esau's going to start putting the pressure on the people to where certain people don't comply to what their demands are, man. They will use your family and friends and whatever else, jobs, all that to come against you, man. All right, so don't be surprised. This is only the beginning, okay? Because it says that the love of many shall wax cold, man. You're gonna really see, who is for you in that day, man. So scriptures always talk about, if we not for us not to be surprised, because we're going to be persecuted for the Lord's sake. Because just like how it was in the ancient world, man, the main enemies of the prophets were our own people. The ones who gave Yahushua over to the Romans was our people. So our people are going to be the main ones to come against us in this day. And so don't look at your family or your friends as the exception to the rule, man. They're going to fall in line as well, man, because when that pressure starts being applied, man, they will turn on you, man, just because you are serving the Lord. Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, because you will be persecuted for Yahweh Shem Yahushua's sake, because these people of the world, they hate Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We come in the spirit of the Lord, so we're gonna face all different types of evil just because we serve the Lord, man. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which went before you. And just like I said, man, these are the same people, you know, that persecuted, the prophets, man. All right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel persecuted the prophets, man. But at the end of the day, that's a blessing in disguise, man, because as you jump up to verse 10, it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So persecution is part of the job. So these things that we are reading, all right, are pretty much, to let us know that situations like this are to come, man. All right. So we're not supposed to be, taken by surprise of that if you are, in the spirit of the Lord, because what you're seeing the Lord do is starting to make that separation between the righteous and the wicked. And for those that don't serve the Lord, that don't believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that worship, Satan and the things of this world, all right, they're going to come against you eventually, man. All right, that's all because the Most High is putting that separation in the earth, man. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not, right? Because, hey, the separation is being made, and it's going to be evident in that day, because the elect is not going to bow down to this devil in no circumstance that he presents, man. All right, so as this jab, continues to get pushed, and eventually the chip, all right, more and more of these people are going to bow down to the image of the beast. But as the elect stand firm, because we're not going to take that vow, Lord willing, we'll build the hopeful elect. But these people are going to see that, and eventually they're going to come against you, man, because you're going to have family, you know. Why are you not going to take the chip, man? Why are you not going to take the jab? Yes, you see, you can't work. You're not going to be able to go out and do your daily necessities. If you know, just take it. You know, just take it, and eventually, it's going to get to the point where they might put in legislation to where if you don't got it, that they're supposed to report you, man. So Biden, his administration starting to push these things. All right, this is just the beginning of the persecution, man. Okay, so don't be surprised, man. All right, because like I said, that separation is being made, and the Most High is making His move. All right, this is Matthew 10:35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So our own family is going to come against us for serving the Lord, and we see that on a level now, man. All right, for brothers that just came in, even sisters that come into this truth. All right, you in that sweet stage, and you start telling your family about this truth, and they start coming up against you because they don't agree with what you're doing. You know, they see that you're starting to change. Because when you grow in this word, man, you begin to develop righteous traits. That separate you from the ways of the world, because the ways of the world teaches you nothing but wickedness. So when we start to change our lifestyle, man, they will notice that, and they're going to come against you for that, because they're not going to see you as that same person anymore, because your spirit has changed, man. All right. So especially when these draconian laws start getting put in the legislation, they definitely gonna come against you in that day, man. All right. And eventually they're gonna turn you into Esau, just like how people used to do back then, man. Okay. In the time of the Romans, they stayed persecuting the prophets, man, turning the people over to the Romans, because they didn't want to, the men of the Lord didn't want to serve, Esau back then either, man. So these times are no different, man. There's no new thing under the sun, man. So our own household is going to become our foes in that day, man. All right. I want to see what this word variance means. You see. The word variance means to cut into two parts, cleave asunder, sever. And the Lord is severing those ties that we have to this world, man. All right. And your family is a part of those ties that are going to be separate, because as I just went into at Malachi 3:18, I'm going to read it again, Malachi 3:18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not, man. So the Most High is severing all the ties that we have into this world, so that they can't pull us out of this truth, man. All right, so they can't, pretty much persuade you to let go of this word, man. All right. So continuing on, in Matthew 10:37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So you can't put nothing above Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. All right. Now this isn't saying to pretty much abandon your family, but if it comes to a point to where they put you in a position to where you gotta choose them over the Lord, man, you gotta pretty much forsake them, man, because there's gonna come a point in time where they're gonna be the main ones trying to persuade you to take the jab or to take the chip, man. All right, and if that situation were to arise, man, hey, you gotta separate yourself, man, because the men of the Lord, all right, our number one goal is to serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and nothing is gonna nothing's gonna get in the way of that, man. So if your family is trying to entice you to do wickedness, all right, you got to separate yourself from them, man, because they see that that conviction that we have for the word, man. All right, that we will put nothing above Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man, And they seeing that the way that we're changing. That's why they're already looking at you different, man. All right. This is Matthew. It's like First Peter chapter 4 verse 4, wherein they think it strange that you not, it's like that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. All right, because at the end of the day, in fact, I'm gonna start up at verse 3. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 1. First Peter 4:1. For as much then as Hamashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin. And so that's, pretty much the same mind state that we take, man, because we know that Yahweh Shai came in the flesh and he suffered the same things that we suffered, man. He had family members, that that were in the truth, and he had family members that weren't in the truth, man. So he understands that struggle that we had, that we got to go through in this world, man. All right, but also we know that as he suffered in the flesh, man, all right, that he never sinned while he was in the flesh, man. And though we can't, keep that exactly perfect the same way he walked, we strive for that, man. Verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his life in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. And so that's why, certain things, certain traits that we had in the world, certain people that we, hung out in the world with that caused us to go and do those certain traits that we picked up, we separated ourselves from, man. All right? And that's noted. It says, for the time past of our lives may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, reveling, banqueting, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. All right, and that's exactly how these people look at us, man. All right, they see the change that's happened to, in our lives, man, and they ultimately they separated themselves from us because as we are walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, they're still in the world. So the things, these new traits that we've picked up in the spirit, it doesn't mesh well with their spirit, man. And so as it tells you, can two walk together lest they be agreed? All right, they separated themselves from our company because of the spirit that we're in, man. It pretty much it pricks them, man. All right, and so that's why they talk evil of they call you crazy, say you're in a cult, pretty much say that you're bugged out now, because we don't participate in the same things of the world that we used to, man. All right, that's why your family come against you when you first come in it, because you don't want to celebrate these holidays no more. All right, you don't want to eat the same abominable food that they eat. Do the certain things that they do, such as smoke weed, you know, have orgies, you know, commit adultery, things of that nature. All right, they see that you act different now, so even more, especially going into the time that we're in now, man, because us taking the stance of not taking that jab or that chip is going to stand out, man, because ultimately when Esau starts putting these restrictions out to where if you don't have the chip or the jab that you ain't gonna be able to do certain things, that's when that heavy persuasion is gonna come upon them to try to make you do it, but you gotta resist them, man. All right, and ultimately when you do, like I said, they're gonna come against you even harder at that point, man. All right, they may not want you to come around, you know, because they're gonna pretty much try to blame you for well, you might get me sick again if you ain't got the jab, or whatever, however the situation may go, man. But at the end of the day, if that situation, come about, man, we can't fret because we know the Lord is with us, man. All right. Psalms 27:10. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Lord, and lead me in a plain path because of mine enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. All right. And to be all honest, all the people that's of this world, whether it be family, friends, co-workers, whatever. If they're not doing the will of the Heavenly Father, they are an enemy. Okay, so taking emotions, out of the picture, we realize what it is, man. All right, these people are going to come against you at some point or another, man. And when that happens, we have to realize that it's just the will of the Lord. But though it seems like everybody is against you, the Lord said He's going to take up for you, man. He's going to lead you, you know, in a plain path, so that your enemies won't prevail over you, man. All right, because we have the Lord to call upon, man. We don't need validation from anybody of this world, man. Because like I said, that treachery is coming, man. That persecution is coming, man. You know, Psalm 61:2. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. All right, which is that rock being Yahweh Shah, man. That tried stone and our foundation, our key to Yahweh, man. All right, we're gonna cry unto Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah when we're overwhelmed, man. All right, for thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. Because as the scriptures tell you, the name of the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it, man. All right. It says, I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings, Selah. And that's exactly, what we are abiding in, man. Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, man. So we fear nothing that happens to us in this world, man. Yeah, we're gonna, we're in the flesh, so we're gonna feel it, but we're not gonna let that, overwhelm us, because as it tells you in the Apocrypha. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. All right, you can't give in to that fear that your family and friends will come against you, man, because that's, like I said, that's part of the walk. All right. So let me see. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 17:12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offers. And when you go into this word succors, all right, succors goes back to help, man. All right, succor says an aid or a help, assistance. All right, our aid, our help, our assistance comes from Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Okay, so we have nothing to fear when it comes to the persecution that's going to arise upon us, man. The Lord is warning us, He's warning us of these things that's coming to pass, man, because they had to go through it, man. Yahweh Shah and our ancient forefathers had to go through it, so He's giving us the playbook of what to expect, in the near future, man. Okay, so this is just pretty much an exhortation to be aware, man. All right, don't be surprised, when this happens, man. All right, because at the end of the day, man, this is another trial of your faith that you got to go through. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, but at the end of the day, man, these are the things that we have to be prepared for, man. That temptation that we got to fight, man. All right. So hey, we got to stay strong and realize that the Most High is pretty much He's working, man. And if we got our faith in Him, we have nothing to worry about. So with that, I pray this is edifying. We'll close it out by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Bashem Kwadash. The waters to my apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well.